Remote leadership is not about being online all day. It's not about tracking your team. And it's definitely not about more meetings. In fact, the more you try to control a remote team, the worse your results get. So what actually works? In this video, I'm going to break down the real remote leadership skills that high-performing teams are built on, skills that most managers still don't understand. If you're working remotely or aiming to move into a remote leadership role, this is something you need to get right early. Because remote work doesn't forgive weak systems. It exposes them. And the difference between struggling teams and high-performing ones usually comes down to one thing: leadership design. Not personality, not charisma, systems. Let's get into it. Section 1. Clarity over control. One of the biggest mistakes new remote leaders make is trying to replace visibility with control. They think, if I can't see my team, I need to monitor them. So they start checking activity, constantly asking for updates, all the time sitting in unnecessary meetings. But here's the problem. Control creates friction. Clarity removes it. Strong remote leaders don't chase updates. They design work so updates aren't needed. Instead of saying, let's improve this process, they say, by Friday, I need a revised version that reduces time by 20%. That level of clarity changes everything. Because when people know exactly what success looks like, they don't need supervision. They execute. Section 2. Asynchronous communication. Remote teams don't run on meetings. They run on communication systems. And this is where most leaders fail. They try to recreate office life online. More Zoom calls, more check-ins, more interruptions. But high-performing remote teams work differently. They prioritize asynchronous communication. That means clear written instructions, documented processes, recorded updates instead of live meetings. Think about it like this. Every time you repeat yourself in a meeting, you're wasting scale. But when you document something once, your entire team can use it anytime. Strong remote leaders don't just communicate. They build knowledge systems. Section 3. Trust as a strategy. In remote work, you can't see effort, only outcomes. And that makes a lot of leaders uncomfortable. So what do? They start tracking online status, working hours, response times. But here's the truth. The moment people feel monitored, performance drops because they shift from ownership to compliance. Strong remote leaders flip this completely. They define clear expectations, step back, measure results. Trust is not just a nice to have here. It's how you unlock performance. Section 4. Outcome-based management. Traditional management rewards effort. Remote leadership rewards results. There's a big difference. In an office, someone can look productive all day. In remote work, that illusion disappears. So, the question changes from, were you busy? To, what moved forward? Strong leaders track. Deliverables impact progress over time. A simple system you can use. Set weekly outcomes. Track them visibly. Review based on results. When everyone knows what matters, performance becomes predictable. Section 5. Digital emotional intelligence. Remote communication is fragile. No tone, no body language, no context. A short message can feel rude. A delay can feel like rejection. And this is where many leaders lose their team without realizing it. Strong remote leaders are highly intentional with communication. They write clearly and respectfully, check in when someone goes quiet, create space for feedback. Even small things matter. A simple message like, let me know if anything is blocking you, can prevent hours or days of lost productivity. Leadership here is not louder. It's more aware. Section 6. Structure and accountability. Without structure, remote teams drift. Work becomes unclear. Deadlines slip. Everything turns reactive. Strong leaders solve this with systems, not pressure. That includes weekly planning, clear ownership, shared tracking tools, focused check-ins. The goal is simple. Everyone should always know what they're responsible for, what the priority is, when it's due. When that's clear, execution becomes smooth. Section 7. Decision-making speed. In remote teams, slow decisions are dangerous because delays multiply across time zones. Weak leaders become bottlenecks. Everything needs their approval. Nothing moves without them. Strong leaders do the opposite. They delegate decision-making, define boundaries, encourage action. Not every decision should go through you. In fact, if it does, your team will slow down. Leadership is not about holding control. It's about distributing it effectively. Section 8. Building culture remotely. Culture doesn't just happen in remote teams. It has to be built intentionally. Without it, teams become transactional. Tasks, deadlines, done. No connection. Strong leaders create culture through consistent communication, recognition, clear values. Not forced fun, not random activities, but alignment. People should feel valued, seen, part of something. That's what keeps teams engaged long-term. Section 9. Self-leadership. Here's the truth most people avoid. You cannot lead remotely if you can't manage yourself. Your habits become your team's habits. If you are disorganized, unclear, reactive, your team will be too. Strong leaders are structured, calm, consistent. They plan their work. They communicate proactively. They manage their time and energy. Before you lead others, you need control over your own execution. Section 10. Adaptability. Remote work is still evolving. Tools change. Teams scale. Expectations shift. The best leaders don't assume they have it figured out. They ask for feedback, adjust, systems improve continuously. Rigid leaders struggle here. Adaptive leaders grow. Remote leadership is quieter than traditional leadership, but it's far more powerful because when done right, you don't need to chase people. You don't need constant meetings. You don't need control. You build systems that work without you. If you want to grow in remote work, start developing these skills now. Because this is no longer optional. It's the standard. If you want a deeper breakdown of everything we covered, check the full blog in the description. And if you're serious about building a remote career or stepping into leadership, subscribe. Because this is what we focus on here.